Well, good morning again. This is Saturday, November the 6th, and we are headed up the Cherokee Orchard Road into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park to see some fall color. We just came down from our sunrise at Clingman's Dome, and all of the fall color up that high is gone, but since this is lower elevation, this is usually an excellent place to see fall colors. So we're going to try to drive through here and see if we can't show you some of the beauty of the fall here in the Smokies. And we just entered the national park on Cherokee Orchard Road, and then we are going to continue on to the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. Now, the good thing about this little road here is if you don't have a lot of time, you can just go up to Cherokee Orchard Road. There's a parking lot at the end. It loops back around and comes back down the same way you came up. If you continue on to Roaring Fork, it's another 5-mile drive. Beautiful drive over a lot of running creeks and rivers, fall colors, and it comes out about a mile up the street in Gatlinburg. It comes out up by the Hungry Bear Barbecue in that area. So we're going to do that this morning. We're going to drive up Cherokee Orchard Road, and then we're going to continue on to the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. So looking forward to some really nice fall colors today. Sorry, this is right into the sunlight, y'all. It's just the time of day. It's right at 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, right here, I hope you can see this sign that the glare's not too much, where it says Twin Creeks area. I'm going to slow down here. Science and Education Center. That is where you turn if you're trying to look for what they call the ferry house. A lot of people ask where the ferry house is. We went there about a year ago, maybe a little more. You just turn right out there, and I want to say you may bear to the right again, but don't quote me on that. But you'll see a building out there where there's be some trucks parked, like National Park official business trucks, and there'll be a chain link fence behind it. You simply walk along that fence and up the hill, just a short 2-3 minute walk, and you'll see the ferry house. It's very easy to find, but that's where you turn to get to that. A lot of people going up through here today, and pink Jeep tourists stopping in the road. And I don't think we're supposed to do that. I'm not sure why they're exempt, but that sun is just at a bad angle, but we will be getting away from that here in just a few minutes. Drove up through here yesterday, and with the dash cam off, thought it was recording, so that's why we're coming back today. Once I realized it wasn't recording, we just thought we'd just try it again today with the recording on, and do the Roaring Fork Trail. We didn't actually do the Roaring Fork yesterday because we had missed already so much that we wanted to record. There's some pretty vibrant looking colors here. Fall season's going to be winding down here pretty soon. The colors have reached the low elevations now, so probably within a week you will have missed the peak. Even in the lower, you've already missed it up high, but even in these elevations here, it's probably peaking right now.
Yeah, I would say it was definitely peaking now.
Alright, we're passing right now the Noah Bud Ogle place. You usually see Bud in quotation marks. I guess that was a nickname or something. So very pretty over there with all the trees turning colors. That was where he lived way back when, well over 100 years ago. Colors are really starting to look nice here. A lot of reds right through here and orange. What happened to it?
Unless Ruby or bumped it, I don't know.
Yeah. Our dash cam got knocked off. We didn't realize it. So. Guess our dog kind of hit the cord or something. But you can really see the, what's the word for this? It's ablaze with color.
It is. It's very cute.
A lot of orange, like sugar maples right here. This is where we took the picture of us standing in the road.
I think it is.
Yeah, right here. I could just pull me up a chair and spend the day up in here. Spread a blanket out and snooze, picnic a little, do a little reading. Start saying meditating, but I would pray. I don't meditate. Not like that meditate. We're supposed to meditate on the word, though, it says. But just beautiful right through here.
Very, very cute.
Allow yourself a lot of time to do this road because you don't go very fast on it. There's a yellow Jeep, could it be? I don't think so. They don't have all those stickers. That's North Carolina plate.
It does.
I didn't see the plate at first. Alright, now right here on your right, you'll see the sign Rainbow Falls and Bullhead, Trailhead and Parking. This is where you park if you want to do either a hike to Rainbow Falls or to Mount LeConte. You can access 2 of the 5 trails right here. Last time we did LeConte, we went up Rainbow Falls and came down Bullhead. I preferred Rainbow Falls myself. Beautiful waterfall to see a couple of miles in. And then we walked down Bullhead, and it seemed like it took forever, even though they're really both very similar in distance. Now, you can also access the Trillium Gap Trail there, but you have to get on a connecting trail to do it. If you're going to take Trillium Gap, I would recommend you go on up to the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail and access the trailhead from there, and you get to go by Grotto Falls and that. But you can access it from there if you have to, if Roaring Fork is closed for some reason. So,
looks like a lot of people are out on trails today.
yeah, a lot of people doing some hiking. Again, good day for it. Very clear. We were up at Klingman's Dome this morning, froze to death, but it was very, very clear. You could see forever.
A lot of people up there that early in the morning.
Yeah, you got a lot of turkeys out, and people are stopping to see turkeys. I don't know why we have turkeys in our yard about once a week. So, I'm not sure why a turkey is a thrill, but I guess maybe some people don't have that.
What he's going to say, he's going to cross the road.
He's not going to cross the road. If he does, he's going to be on the Thanksgiving table. For,
turkey pancakes.
Yeah, turkey pancake. Rainbow. Here's more parking for Rainbow Falls. I guess this is like an overflow lot.
This morning when we passed Alum Cave Trail, all the parking lots were full. The side of the road, they were lined up for a long ways. Yeah,
Alum Cave is one of the other ways up to Mount LeConte. We did that in June, but we didn't go all the way to LeConte. We just went as far as Alum Cave Bluffs and a little bit past that. But yeah, you got to really, really be fortunate to get a parking space there. I would get there really early, or if you're not going all the way to LeConte, get there in the afternoon when people are leaving, because that's how we found a space that day. Is we came early afternoon.
Yeah, it was like what, two
something, yeah, something like that. So you can either stay straight and loop back down into Gatlinburg, or you can bear to the right here, which is what we're going to do, and get on the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. And this is a very, very nice fall drive. You're in the woods mostly. You're along a creek some, and you have 1 or 2 open overlook views. But not a lot of overlooks through here, but it's still pretty dry. You want to allow yourself about an hour. It said 6 miles back there. I thought it was 5, but you want to allow yourself about an hour if you want to stop and take pictures, and also if you happen to be behind people that don't pull off. And you know, it can take you up to an hour, usually a little less, but it can do that. So we're just now crossing the Baskins Creek Trail. Now, the Trillium Gap Trail is coming up in 0.1 miles. That's one of the other ways to Mount LeConte, and that takes you to Grotto Falls, which we were going to hike this trip. We just didn't get it done. Instead we went up to, we would have done it yesterday morning if it hadn't snowed up on the mountain, so we decided we wanted to see the first snow of the year. So we went up there instead. By the time we got back, we didn't really have time to do the hike. So
yeah, when we come back, we actually came up this way and was going to do this drive through, but with the video not starting at the right time, we thought, well, we'll just do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not the most camera proficient person in the world. I have a way of recording things I don't want to record, and then when I think I'm getting something really good, I'll find out later I didn't have it. And of course, the first weekend in October, when we first got the dash cam, we recorded all day long with no sound. And so we didn't even post that video, but I think we're getting the dash cam figured out now.
Yeah, after I had to print out the booklet for it, that didn't.
Yeah, it didn't come with any kind of owner's manual or not, or any one that was any good, and so she found one online. That's what a lot of places are doing anymore. A lot of these like camera and electronics, they don't put any kind of an owner's manual that tells you how to operate the product, and it has so many features they think you just know it. Alright, so we continue on now. Just one little one-way narrow road through here. We've come up here a couple of times in the fall with a light dusting of snow on the fall leaves. That's very nice.
Very pretty.
We didn't get that this time. The snow was up high this time. I never did see the Trillium Gap Trail. I thought it was further on, but it said 0.1. I never did see it. So. I don't know. They got their cell phone, but like they're photographing something. Probably another turkey. It's certainly not a bear. I don't know. I guess they were just getting a picture of the leaves. I don't see a thing down there. Last year we saw an owl perched on a branch. An owl.
Yeah. And that was closer going back towards town.
That was just right above town.
That was pretty neat to see.
Yeah. Oh, I'm yawning. Been up, got up early yesterday morning, went to bed late, got up early again this morning. And I think it's going to start catching up to me now.
Yeah, he was up before the alarm. He was like, we need to get up by 6. So I set the alarm for 6. I wake up, he's already up, showered and everything. I'm like, I didn't even hear you.
That's because I'm very quiet when I shower. I don't slam doors and stuff like that. No. And we're just inching along. Right now we're doing about 8 miles an hour. I don't know what the speed limit through here is. I don't know if there is a posted. I'm sure there's a speed limit. I haven't seen the sign. I didn't notice it if we did see one, but
you couldn't go fast on this
no, you
road.
couldn't go very fast. We could go faster than we are now safely, but the speed through here is not dictated by any speed limits, and it's dictated by whoever's in front of you.
Yeah, whoever's first.
Yeah, so coming up. Huh?
So we're catching up to another line of traffic.
Yeah, there's some kind of jam right here. I don't know if they spotted an animal, bear. Talking about bear, we've been staying in town last 2 nights for our church couples trip, not our usual motel. And first night, Thursday night, about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night,
something like that.
I heard what sounded like a trash can getting knocked over. So I looked at her. I said, "That's got to be a bear. There ain't nobody, no maintenance or cleanup person here emptying trash this late at night." So
I stuck my head out the window.
she stuck her head out.
And it looked at me. I looked at it, and I turned and looked at Derek. I said, "Get your camera."
Yeah, so I had to get my camera and put my jeans back on and throw a hoodie on. So by that time, the bear had gone back downstairs, but I still got a really good video of him.
Yeah, I think I posted that on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I can put it in this too. I thought that wouldn't be something a human would be doing. And they say no pets.
There it is.
Where? Of course I have no zoom. Hey bud. Well, we just got a bear and he just knocked this trash can over. And then last night we were uptown. My daughter-in-law and son were back at the room already. They texted and said there was another bear out there. They heard a trash can on the lower level get knocked over. We was upstairs. The bear came upstairs the first night and knocked the trash can over. This time he was downstairs. So we came back and walked back, and he was in the back of somebody's pickup truck across the street. That was hilarious. So I just tell you, if you come up here in a pickup truck, don't leave a cooler in the back of it, even in town, because that bear, I'm not saying that guy even had a cooler, but the bear was in the back of his pickup truck.
Something attracted him into that.
Something did, or he just wanted to get in. I don't know what it was, but he stayed there a few minutes and got out and left. And then after we went to bed, my son and daughter-in-law recorded 2 more bears on the lower level of our motel wrestling. I'll try to include that video too. We didn't get to see that, but they sent us the video.
Yeah, so. It's like they're almost like pushing each other away from the trash can they're about ready to dig into.
I can text your dad. $5 on that one.
Yeah, Mama's
Sorry, we're all backing up. Oh my goodness.
I would love to have seen that. The first bear we saw Thursday night, he was massive. He was big. I think black bears only maybe get 500-600 pounds maximum. He was probably pushing that.
Yeah, it was a big bear. One to where we kept very safe.
He was as big as a small grizzly. I mean, grizzly bears are bigger than black bears, but this one could pass for a grizzly.
And this here, videos, of course, don't do it justice. When you're there and you see it, it's like, wow.
Yeah, he was nice and plump. And don't get me wrong, I love to see bear cubs too. I think they're about adorable to watch, but there's something about seeing a massive big bear too. It's kind of, when you drive through Catesco, sometimes you see them bears maybe weigh 100 pounds. It's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yes, they look kind of thin, and I wonder, I mean, they're more in the wild and in the nature. They're eating what they can find. The ones in Gatlinburg, they're digging through trash. They're eating our fatty food, what they can find.
And I'm going to be honest with you, it's against the law to feed the bears here in the Smokies. There's people that come up here and rent a cabin, and they put themselves, I guess they just don't know. I don't know what it is. They take videos of themselves feeding the bear and then post it on social media. And one woman about a year ago, I think she either went to jail or had to pay a huge fine. She got arrested.
Some legal trouble, yeah.
And first of all, I was going to say be smart. And when I say be smart, I don't mean stay off social media. I mean don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Because you're hurting it.
You are hurting the bear, and you can endanger the next person that comes along that doesn't have food. If the bear tends to associate people with food, the bear may attack the next person that does not feed it.
Yeah, because these bears, they get into like a routine. That's what we were saying last night.
Oh, and they're very intelligent.
It's like they know, okay, we'll go check this place out. We'll go to here and check this place out. It's like they know. They know where the trash, they know where the trash cans were.
It's like they have an order of motels. They stopped by ours, then went over to Jack Huff's, then went across the street to Howard Johnson's.
Yeah, it's like they knew what to do.
And something we noticed last night, we're usually not out on the streets late. We noticed last night, a lot of the businesses, including some of the candy shops, put bags of trash out on the side of the street, and then a trash truck comes along about midnight and picks it up.
Yeah, we were walking. It was a little after 10 last night.
Yeah.
And then the other night when we drove through town, it was after midnight, and the trash truck was just now coming to pick up stuff.
Now, some of it's like clothing stores. It's not food items. It's cardboard boxes. That's fine. But like I'm gonna go ahead and call them out. It was a caramel corn, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a ton of popcorn in trash bags.
Yeah, we were walking back to the motel last night, and they have a trash bag full of popcorn. Now, reckon what's going to happen to that?
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, if you go into the Smokies and you leave your cooler out, you can get fined, or they'll take your cooler. I don't know why they don't fine some of these businesses that puts the trash right out there on the street, and then talk about, well, the bears are in town. Well, if I was a bear, I'd go in town too, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well,
he don't know better.
Grotto Falls parking area.
But they ought to put some bear-proof trash cans on the streets too, because those bears just come into
for
town.
the businesses. I mean, they've got bear-proof ones for people who are walking to put their trash in, but I think the businesses need ones that they can roll out. Maybe, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Something. There needs to be something.
Or somebody to be there when the truck comes through and just bring the trash out then, because I had never noticed that before, and the bear population in town is getting a lot worse at nighttime. People are seeing them in broad daylight now.
I mean, it is neat to see, but you don't want nobody to get hurt, and you want them to stay wild.
Yeah, it is neat to see, but goodness, people get around it. People can't help themselves. They approach it. They have to get that cell phone picture, and they try to get as close as they can. Here's the Trail-Gatlinburg. We've literally come 0.1 mile. Yeah, so here, if you want to hike Grotto Falls or Mount LeConte, there it is. That's the only trail we've not done to LeConte. I think maybe we'll come down that one sometime.
We need to do it again, yeah.
Yeah. Start and go up Alum Cave and come down that one.
Wow, people are just having to back in and park wherever.
Yeah, they really are. I will say it's pretty today, but when we drove this 2 years ago on our church couples trip, it was a lot prettier. I mean, this is nice, but you remember that morning?
I do.
That was the morning it had snowed up at over Gatlinburg, and then we rode the chairlift up there.
Yep.
Which they didn't even clean the snow off of. We sat on that snow-packed chairlift all the way up the mountain.
And then all the way back down.
Yeah, and we were quite numb after that.
We were, so we went and changed clothes.
I could have sat on a chair with nails in it and I wouldn't have noticed. You know, that's how. But heading back down the other side of Roaring Fork now.
I wonder if these people are trying to find a parking space.
Well, they might be. I don't know.
It's like they're coming, stopping.
I mean, I can back. Honestly, I think the fall colors were a little better on the Cherokee Orchard Road before we got onto this. There's been a few nice spots here, but
yeah, I know.
It's not as bright over here as it was. And a word about fall colors in the Smokies. A lot of people every year join these Facebook pages, you know, Gatlinburg or I Love the Smoky Mountains. There's a ton of them. Or by the way, there's a nice one called God's Country, Great Smoky Mountain, or Cades Cove and Great Smoky Mountains. That's ours.
You gotta put God's Country first.
Yeah, it's God's Country dash Cades Cove and the Great Smokies Mountains is what it is. And we've got about 2,400 members, not a huge group, but hardly anybody ever posts. So if you want to join our group, join it and post things about the Smokies.
Post your pictures, post your memories.
Yeah. One of the reasons we started a group is because some of the others allow language that we're not going to allow, and bickering and name calling and all that. We don't mind a good healthy discussion, but you know, we're not going to call people idiots, morons, and cuss at people. And some of the other groups, while they don't allow it, people do it anyway and get away with it sometimes. There's other good groups that don't. There's another one I really like that we're members of, the Beauty of Cades Cove and the Great Smoky Mountains. That's a good group, good administrator in that one. She really keeps a tab on things. But what I was going to say about fall and the Smokies, people join these pages, they want to know, when does the peak color, what weekend? There's not one. Peak starts up high in the middle of October. We were on Mount Cameron October 9th, and it was already very colorful on the ridge line. And probably by the next weekend, it was at full peak up high. Then by the weekend after that, it moved down the mountain, and here we are first week in November, and the peak is coming into Gatlinburg. So It's always a process that starts at the top and then goes down the mountain throughout October into early November. You drive up to Newfound Gap now, there is no color, it's gone. But down here in the valley, there's still a lot. So, anytime from the middle of October to the first weekend of November, you can find color somewhere. I know there's a couple of little places up here on the right where you can get good shots of the river. I'm a fan of rivers in the mountains. I don't know why. I just think they're peaceful, they're beautiful. Especially in the fall or covered in snow. That's the best times to look at a river. Also the best times to stay out of a river. But,
to look at them.
To look at, they're very nice. I think this is the little, this is the little bridge here.
Yeah, we've stopped because there's those little cabins over there.
Yeah. It looks like that vehicle's afraid to cross the bridge.
Yeah, I think one at a time is what we need to do.
Well, that's about all there's room for.
Yeah, but it's like they stop, let the other person go on. Now it's my turn.
Got some really good pictures coming off of Clingman's Dome on the path down today. The way the sun was hitting the mountains, they just had a golden hue to them.
It was beautiful. And they always look super high whenever you've got the fog in the valley. It makes them just look like they're just huge.
Yeah, we couldn't even, you can usually see Fontana Lake from Clingman's Dome. You couldn't even see it today. The whole valley was blanketed in fog. Fontana, Bryson City, Cherokee. And that's a sight to behold. But just pack your patience with you and allow yourself some time, and this is a very enjoyable drive.
It's like different parts of the park have such pretty areas. You know, Cades Cove is beautiful. This is beautiful. You know, just different drives you can take. It's just like it's so
there really
nice.
is so much variety. Cades Cove gets a lot of fame for good reason. It's very pretty. We love it. We camped there over Labor Day. We camp there every year. So it is a beautiful place, but that's the one that's most famous, so that's the one that has the biggest crowds. Roaring Fork is a nice fall drive.
It is. I mean, it's got cabins as well. There's little trails that you can go off
There's not a lot of open views. That's the difference.
Right.
Because a lot of people want to know the difference. There's not a lot of open views on this.
No. What cabin is that?
What cabin is that? I don't know.
I don't remember.
There is a cabin over there. There's like that one's in two sections with a little roof and like a walkway underneath, a breezeway. I'm not sure which one that is.
It's like parents on this side, kids on the other side.
And the Roaring Fork area is one of the areas that was devastated by the 2016 fires.
Yeah, I was noticing yesterday when we just did the loop, the Cherokee Orchard loop, you could still see some burned parts on the bottoms of trees. You could see it.
In fact, the area behind the motel we stayed at this time, the Mountain House Mountain House Inn in Gatlinburg, that whole area behind that, everything was destroyed. Those fires were so odd. One building might be untouched, and both sides of it are burned to the ground.
Yeah.
And that whole area back in there was devastated, and they built condominiums back in there. Now you can't. The only place you can really ever even tell there was a fire, I'd say there's two places. I know going up Ski Mountain Road towards over Gatlinburg, that's where I think some of the worst was at. The two places where you can still tell there was a fire is going up to the Sky Bridge, the side of Crockett Mountain there in downtown.
Yeah, you can see it.
Most of the stuff is burned off there, and there's still some charred remains of trees. And also looking at the chimneys when the leaves are off of it. We were noticing that yesterday. The chimneys is still black from the fire. That's where the fire started. And sadly, 14 people lost their lives in those fires. And the ones who did it, basically, sort of they got a slap on the wrist. I don't know if they even got that.
I don't know.
I couldn't live with knowing that my irresponsibility cost 14 people their lives.
Oh, I know.
I personally couldn't live with that.
We were in a general store yesterday in Pigeon Forge, and they actually had a book. What was it called again?
Trial by Fire.
And it's like, I was just flipping through, kind of just looking at the pages, and the top of the chimneys, it was like billowing smoke.
Yeah.
And then just different places.
Like
in
like a literal chimney almost.
Yeah. And like the mountains around Gatlinburg, you could just see the fire, and it's just like, that would be so scary to be up here and see that. It's just very, very sad.
There's a few people went downtown Gatlinburg with the smoke. I think maybe Will did, Yankee in the South. I think maybe he was in town the night of the smoke and all that, and it was just, oh.
We were there, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Our son got married 2 weeks before the fires. The cabin that he honeymooned in burned down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was up on a road that it would have been, if they had been there that night, and I hope and pray nobody else was there that night, there was cars charred, there was remains of automobiles just charred.
Yeah, tires stuck to the pavement.
Yeah, because when we were back at Christmas, we drove up there.
Mm-hmm.
Their cabin was gone. And we actually were looking down into, you could just see where everything had collapsed, the beds, the bathroom, the kitchen.
You could see the remains of the metal.
You could see the remains of the inside of the house, and to know that your son and daughter-in-law just honeymooned there 2 weeks prior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when we were there,
it gets real. You know,
yeah.
When that starts hitting you, had they been up there that night, I pray to God nobody was that night.
Yeah.
But had they been up there that night, there's no guarantee they could have got off that mountain. You know.
I'm gonna get a picture. Is there anybody behind you?
No, there actually isn't. You want me to pull up closer?
No, just stay right here. Just see if I can get her.
You good?
Yeah, thank you. I don't remember that little thing.
I don't either. But that's obviously not new. So there's the Alfred Reagan place over to the left. That looks like something in Cataloochee, though.
The colors, yes.
The door of this place, I know y'all can't see it. The door is turquoise and yellow.
Yeah, and it's a white, just more contemporary looking home.
There's no way it was painted that color when it was built.
Yeah.
Where would you even have gotten paint like that then?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
It looked like the Caldwell house over in Cataloochee.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when I saw it.
A little bit smaller, I think, but what was that? Alfred Reagan?
I think so. Alfred something.
That wasn't like the cabins you see in Cates Cove, where they're just...
No, that's like a house.
Yeah, that didn't
It had shingles.
Yeah.
Front porch. Well, some of the cabins have front porches.
Not a lot of good color right here. Like if maybe there was strong wind or something that's taking a lot of the leaves down. There's a lot of these trees right here that are bare. Still some with a little bit of color. Yeah, we got another river crossing here, so.
Let them go.
Oh well. I can't stop them.
Alright, no stop. And with the
Yeah, get the leaves falling. Get a video of that too.
That's so pretty. That is so pretty.
Yeah, I love it when the leaves fall like that.
Alright.
You tell me when you're ready.
Hold that.
I'm not being inconsiderate. There's nobody behind
us. Yeah. Go ahead.
Alright.
Yeah, that almost looked like, you know how you can do these filters, like on Snapchat, and it'll show leaves actually like falling to its face.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah,
Who needs Snapchat when you got Roaring Fork?
Yeah, really.
By the way, Snapchat, my wife's a little warped on some things, and one of the things she enjoys doing when I was driving up here is recording me, getting me to look over at her, and doing these
faces,
what I call
hair.
distortions. She's putting hairstyles on me. What, you put a chicken on my head?
Yeah.
And then she just sits and laughs at how dumb I look.
And
So-
it's even better when it changes his voice.
Well, finally, after I had a gut full of it, after about 5 or 6 filters, I saw her doing it again, so I looked over and said, "Will you stop?" And then on that one, she had some kind of big poofy head of hair on my. So that was funny because I looked ridiculous yelling at her, or not yelling, but asking her to stop. What are you doing now?
Just getting it in.
All right.
We'll save that one for viewing later.
Yeah. Which one? Can I be pleased enough to know which one this one is?
You were wrapped in a blanket.
Wrapped in a blanket. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Snapchat. I hope none of you other ladies out there torment your husbands with that stuff. I was just trying to drive up here, and oh, that's lovely. I have a chicken on my head in one, and a big poofy hairstyle when I'm telling her to stop. The other one, I couldn't take me seriously. I put it that way.
Well, let's see. It used to be kind of fun because he would send me pictures back. This is when we first.
It was fun the first 200 times.
We first signed up because he would send me pictures, and then now it's like he don't do that. I just have to get him at random moments. Look at me. Say something.
What do you want me to say? You don't want me to say what I'm thinking right now, because okay, this is a voice distortion.
Look at your eyebrows.
Okay, this one here, y'all, we're not gonna put this on. I've got big, thick black eyebrows
and
a nose like Pinocchio. Oh, that's good. They get the idea.
It's fun and entertaining that time. My place of 1,000 drips should be coming up.
Yeah, it's got to be, because we're getting over a lot of river crossings right now.
And a lot of rock wall over there.
But it's kind of good. You watch this video, you think about trying Roaring Fork, just know what to expect. And, like I say, pack patience. I thought I had. But maybe pack a little bit more. We gotta be coming up on the 1,000 drips. That's not it, is it?
No.
I thought there was a little parking area.
I don't remember if there's a park.
I think on the other side of the road there's a little place to park.
Possibly.
It kind of looks like that, though.
Yeah, it's like a big rock wall of just dripping water.
I don't know how much there'll be dripping out of it today. It's not really been overly wet. Oh, big pothole there. Kind of nice to have him in front of me. I saw what just happened to him, so I would not have seen it otherwise. Yeah, here it is.
Is that it?
Yes, that is it. Not very full today. Not very impressive. We're about at the end of Roaring Fork. Should be coming to the end pretty soon. I still never saw a posted speed limit at all.
No,
I wouldn't think it would be over 10, 15 at the most, but you're not going to go that fast.
I was going to say, you can't go fast on this.
Yeah. Here's the gate, so I guess we're about at the end of it. I'll leave the camera on. I'll let you see where it brings you out in Gatlinburg. Kind of right near the Hungry Bear Barbecue, if you know where that's at.
Yeah, it's not like that far.
No, it's still in. It's not in the main downtown area, but it's still in town.
Yeah, it's basically just.
I think what else is near up there?
We just passed the sign facing the other way. It said Park Boundary.
Oh, okay. So we just exited the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Oh, a cool looking old pickup truck up here. Not a pickup, an old flatbed.
Look how the beehives they got there too.
Oh yeah.
It's just where some of the mountain honey comes from.
Bet so. Ely's Mill. Bet you they got apple cider. I struck out on apple cider going to Carver's the other day. They were short-staffed, as pretty much everybody is, and they hadn't made any.
Yeah, they said they were down like 10 people.
We got to come up here. Can you actually come in from the other way without having to do the whole loop? Can you get to this
I would
point?
say so. Yeah, the road's widening up some.
We don't have time today because we got to meet a couple of people, but there's Ely's Mill at the end of it. Stay here at Ely's Mill Cabin Rentals.
Huh.
I had no idea.
Says you can have weddings here? Antiques, crafts. Oh yeah, look at the little shop inside there.
Oh yeah.
I never noticed that.
I've noticed the buildings, but no, I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I remember there being buildings here. That's about it.
Sign back there in the parking lot says anybody caught parking frivolously is dead meat. Never quite seen a sign like that. Most people would just say no parking without permit or something. Private parking for illegal customers. Alright, we are back in town almost, so I'll let you see where this comes out. Alright, so we will veer to the left here. Treetops Resort. Almost back in town. A lot of this area was very hard hit by fires in 2016. It's a sad time to come, honestly. We came back at Christmas. Very, very sad to see.
It was.
In a town that I've been coming here my whole life. Her first trip here was on her honeymoon, but since our honeymoon, you've been here several hundred times.
Oh,
That's not an exaggeration.
I mean, we'll be married, 29 years in April, and we've been coming, 3 or 4 times a year at least.
Yeah, and a lot of times more than that, counting ride-throughs and going over to Cades Cove.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So you got to figure 30 years average of 4 times a year is 120 times, and I think you've topped that. So,
yeah, I would definitely think so. Somebody's house that must have burned. They got pumpkins, I guess, in memory of where their home was. Along the foundation of where it was.
A lot of sad stories come out of those fires. Obviously the loss of human life, but the couple that had left their little pet at their cabin to go into town to eat, and came back and their cabin had burned, and they were just hoping and praying that their pet had gotten out and found. And when we come up here at Christmas, we drove along that road looking for it, because the thought of a little small dog being out scared just kind of rips me up.
Yeah, wasn't the door open or something?
I think so. So
yeah.
I think they had hope that somebody might find it, but as far as I know, I think I checked a year later and they never did. They had to go back to Ohio. I can't stand the thought of a little dog scared to death like that. But then, of course, the loss of human life.
Mm-hmm.
But we are back in town, and there is the Hungry Bear Barbecue on the left. And that's actually the Brooks side across the street. So
yeah, the wedding chapel's up there.
Yeah, it's still close though. Alright, so thank y'all for watching. I know this was long. Would have been shorter if I'd been the lead car. But, still, hope you got to enjoy the leaves and the fall scenery. We are headed over now towards Pigeon Forge, and thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe, and have a blessed day.